Here's one more video on polynomial division. This one's a little bit different just because we're dividing by a second degree polynomial. For this one, the remainder theorem would not work. Because this is a second degree polynomial, you can't just plug in a positive 1 for all the x's and see what the remainder should be. So this one we actually have to divide correctly. So just be careful as you go. Again, notice I've put in zeros for the values that we're missing. We may need them, we may not. Sometimes the problems skip over them. We'll see. So we begin by dividing x to the fifth by x squared. When I divide, I subtract the exponents, and it should give me x cubed. I then multiply that back through. So x cubed times x squared is x to the fifth. And then this is where we're going to actually be able to skip this term, because when I multiply this back, it actually is negative 1x cubed. Change the signs. When I skip over a 0 term, there's no need to bring it down, because 0 divided by anything is still 0. It's just a wasted move, so we can actually just skip it. This should cancel. Let's simplify our cubes. So we end up with negative x cubed. And then in these problems, I would definitely recommend just go ahead and bring down everything else so you don't get lost along the way. And then you start the process again. Negative x cubed divided by x squared is just negative x. Multiply back through and get negative x cubed, and negative x times negative 1 is a positive 1x. We're going to change the signs. And then here's something a little interesting. So in the last problem, I was able to skip the second term because it was a 0. In this problem, in this section, I cannot skip this term because there's a value associated with it. So what I do is I just bring that straight down. I add the next terms together. That is a negative x, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring down the 6. So you can't just skip this if there's a value associated with it. We can skip this one because it is a 0. We've got to keep this one. Divide again. X squared divided by x squared is 1. Multiply back through. And again, we can't skip it. When I change signs, I can't skip this term because it's a negative 1. So I'm just going to bring it down. And negative 5. And now I'm done. I can no longer divide any further because what I have left as my remainder is of a lower degree than what I'm actually dividing by. So you will have problems where your remainder will contain a variable. So I just put remainder negative x minus 5. And that's my final answer. So it looks a little bit strange, but again, if it's a remainder, if we have a remainder, that simply means that x squared minus 1 is not a factor of the original polynomial. So that's going to be important in the next few lessons.